Welcome to the next episode of our trading podcast here at Trading College. We've got a great guest for you on this episode. We've got Ivo from Dara Trade, who's going to talk to us about this very popular subject of AI, artificial intelligence, and how it could help us as traders. What really is ChatGPT? How smart it is, and how it could help us as traders going forward. So I'd like to welcome Ivo from Dara Trade to the podcast. Welcome, Ivo.
Thanks, Lee, and great to be here as always.
Great. So something's happened recently, of course. I mean, the whole world, if you've not heard of AI in the press online, then you've been living under a stone at the moment. It's obviously very, very popular in providing all sorts of services in business, and I'm sure lots of people have had a little go and had a little play of ChatGPT and had a little go at it. But I mean, what is it first? If somebody listening to this podcast doesn't have a clue what we're talking about, can you just give a little bit of an explanation of what ChatGPT is?
Yep, sure. So ChatGPT is an AI chatbot. It's created by a company called OpenAI. And this company actually been around for a while. It was established in 2015, and Elon Musk was one of the early investors in OpenAI. So over the last 8 years or so, they have been heavily involved in AI development. But at the end of last year, they surprised everyone, including me, a lot of people in the industry with their latest product, ChatGPT. And you're right, it absolutely blew up. It got something like 100 million users in the first 2 or 3 months. So it's amazingly successful product. And AI, of course, is nothing new. It's been discussed since 1950s. Would you believe it? So we're talking about 70 years. We're talking about AI and how it can help and how it can help improve human lives. And the history of AI has been filled with these booms where people get very, very excited, and sometimes, and most of the time, they followed by what we call AI winters, where people kind of disappointed about the AI development and kind of see the confidence loss in the AI usefulness. And the last boom before the current one was when, if you remember, IBM built this Deep Blue supercomputer that beat Garry Kasparov, the grand chess master, and that was in 1997. So 25 years ago, and back then also people were like, "Wow, this is what's going to happen? This is amazing! Humans are now smarter than the smartest human being on the planet." When chess was considered, this is the smartest person, and it was beaten by a computer. And back then people thought, that's it. Like, what's going to happen now with the world? What's going to happen with humans? Because computers are smarter than us. And of course, it was popularized by the Hollywood industry, by the movies, and so on. But 25 years later, we're still here. Humans are still very, very useful, and AI hasn't taken over the world. But now we're having this new boom. We're in this new boom created by ChatGPT and the company behind OpenAI. And I guess the biggest difference between this one, compared to all the other ones before that, is that its usability. ChatGPT, it's so simple to use, and you can just interact. Everyone can interact with it. You don't need to download any software. You don't need to install any software. You don't need to prepare your own data sets. Something that with the previous models you have to create your own data sets, and you have to change settings, and so on. So really, the previous models were only for AI enthusiasts, where this one, ChatGPT is open for everyone. Even kids can use it. I teach my 9-year-old daughter how to play with it. How to help her with her homework. And so that's one of the major differences. It's very, very accessible to everyone, and that's one part of the reasons why they got 100 million users straight away within a few months. And then the second major difference between GPT and any previous models or traditional AI models that we've seen many years before that, including the models that we use, for example, in our software, that Trading College uses as well, for the trading bots, and trading pattern recognition softwares, is that ChatGPT's scope is very broad. Okay, so that its knowledge, it's huge. So it's essentially the data set that trained ChatGPT is the whole internet. They just trained the bot on the whole wild web. So the data set is massive. So what that means is that it can solve my daughter's homework. It can pass medical doctor's exam. It can fix my code. It can give me relationship advice. It can tell me where's the best ways to go on holidays. It can provide business advice, and it can help with trading as well. So it's a very wide scope of knowledge, and it's absolutely brilliant that way. So it's not quite general AI. We talked about that, or the community has been talking about that for a while, that okay, well, it's general AI, that's something that will be able to think for itself and learn for itself, but it's getting very close, and because it can acknowledge mistakes, it can listen to your response, so you can actually give some feedback to it. I can come back and fix these things. So it's very good, and it's been absolutely brilliant. And we're comparing to the other models, and including the one that I said that we use at Trading College, we use narrow AI.
Right.
So that is very specific task orientated. So for example, in Trading Bot, what we have is we have a historical data sets of historical prices, and we have strategies and patterns, and that's it. We just the bot will use that information and find the best trading strategies to use on that historical data, and it's a very specific task, but of course it's brilliant and extremely good at that one task. But of course it cannot help with other things. We cannot help with my daughter's homework, or with fixing my code. But so that is I guess the main things why it has blown up so big, its usability, and because its scope is so big now, it can do so many things.
It's reaching everybody, isn't it? As you said, from children, homework sort of stuff, and to traders and the general public. I mean, that is why it's so popular, isn't it? And where,
absolutely.
As you said, we've got our bot. We've been using our bot, running our bot for a few years now, and it's great. And it's just amazing that you get the signals that you plug in. It works out the best markets for you, best time frames to trade with that strategy. It's just fantastic. But that is just specifically for that strategy that we've coded it, or you guys have coded it for us with that. So, I mean, how smart really is ChatGPT? I mean, how far can it cure cancer?
not yet, but it's pretty smart, and like I said, it has a great scope, but of course it has its limitation. So when you talk about something that is good at many things, it cannot maybe be so good at one specific thing. So both types of AI, I think, it has its place, where you have something like as broad as ChatGPT, and a more narrow AI, something that we have, with the Trading College bot. Both types of things will have its benefits, and I think the best use case is when you can use both of them at the same time. And because one of the limitations with ChatGPT is, yes, it has massive data set, but it has a cutoff point up to September 2011. Okay, so it doesn't have
or 21. Was it 21? Does it go?
Sorry,
21.
September 2021. So it has no knowledge. Basically, nearly last 2 years, it has no knowledge of what has happened. So, and when we talk about trading, that's of course is a massive no-no. So when we're trading, we need to know what happened 5 minutes ago. We need the up-to-date data, happening right now, in order to execute the best strategies. So that's number one. That doesn't have this latest data. And even if it had the latest data. One of the things that it doesn't have trading strategies. It doesn't have trading strategies taught by trading college. So that is something that still I think humans have quite a big advantage over it. So you have some knowledge that you can use and you plug it in to this to the AI, and that can give you much better results than just using general stuff from internet. So one, yeah, you can use narrow AI that you can get the latest data, and the second one is getting the strategies. Something that you for example, you guys can do at trading college.
It's an interesting one. I mean, tell us, people that don't understand this AI, the artificial intelligence, what is it doing? When I type in, what do I think of? For a start, I typed in, what do I think of the Tottenham Hotspur football team's latest manager? It didn't have the data because it was post 2021. But what is it actually doing then? If it did have the data, would it then go and scour the internet and piece it all together? Or is it taking pieces from one particular place and bringing it to me and delivering it to me?
Yeah, so what it's trying to do when you're actually typing in stuff to it, what it's trying to do is it's trying to predict what is the best outcome after your typing. So because remember, it has massive data sets, so we learn basically on trillions of gigabytes of data. And so when you type in something, it's not really trying to answer you. It doesn't really care what you're typing there. All it really cares is what is the best probable outcome that will satisfy your input. So because it learned on these conversations before through internet, and all the social media sites and so on. So it's really good at understanding what you're asking for, and it tries to basically predict what will be the outcome more satisfying to you. So yeah, it doesn't really go and search for anything. It just basically tries to predict what is the next message you would like to receive.
Sure. Is it, so if we type in the same question or ask the same command, will we get the same answers back?
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. No, because obviously it's not programmed to do exactly the same things. Right. So it can vary. It probably will be the same, type of answers, but it varies greatly actually by the amount of information you provided, and that's actually a good point that you brought this up, because you can get the most benefit from ChatGPT when you provide with much more content to it. So you can, you can ask much more specific and detailed questions and provide it with some background, for example, of your situation and so on. And and even you can give some prompts to how it should behave in terms of how it would answer to you. So you can say, well, imagine. So you say to ChatGPT something like, "Oh, imagine that you are a financial advisor, you're a hedge fund manager, and you have been provided with these trading strategies. Which ones would you choose?" So the more content, the more information you provide, the better the results and the better outcome you can receive from it.
Excellent. Let's get into the trading side of it now, Ivo. And obviously, you've been working with the bots and your company doing your thing very well. So retail traders, for a start, I think quite a lot of retail traders would have probably typed into the chat, design me a trading system, design me a trading strategy, or design me the best trading strategy, because the search is always on for the holy grail with any trader. Can GPT actually provide a retail trader with the holy grail of trading strategies?
Well, it can provide you with some basic strategies that it has in its data set. So obviously it's in data set, it has the whole internet, so it will have some basic trading strategies, but it will not have some more advanced strategies that for example, you guys at Train College will have. It will not have access to those. So it's I don't think it's something that traders can solely rely on just going searching for random strategies from ChatGPT. And to my knowledge, I haven't really found any ones that are worth looking at. I've seen guys looking at and doing it, and the best ones I've seen there, they're just looking at some indicators, they're looking at some momentum strategies and so on, which could be beneficial. But I think when you're really looking at more advanced trading, you really need to look at something like you guys provide at Train College, much more with much more
optimized as well, so optimized to fit as in past data, looked at the history, worked out the
exactly, and that is where I think the biggest benefit for retail trader will be. We can still use ChatGPT, and use it with other tools, like the tools from that we do, and then combining them and getting the feedback. Because I think when you learn and receive education from ChatGPT, that's probably one of the first things that you can, how you use it for, and getting feedback from it and so on. So rather than actually, give me a trading strategy, I wouldn't use it that way personally.
I mean, this has been in the trading world. I mean, we've had our pro trading system for like nearly 15 years now, our system that we use. And this isn't new in the trading world. We've had EAs. I know it's all a little bit different, but automation. I mean, the banks, whatever they're doing, they've been doing it for many, many years when it comes to whether it's automation, high frequency trading or whatever. But machines are pretty much, what sort of percentage would you say, have a guess of what sort of percentage in the trading world is machine based?
Oh, you're right. Machines is nothing new. So it's not that suddenly all the traders have been using machines. Like the machine's been around for years and years, and hedge funds, you're right, banks, and they use computers. So you've been using computers for a very long time. And in terms of percentage, I don't know, it depends from the markets. I've read the reports, in crypto markets, there could be something like 90% of trading is done by machines, and in equities and FX, maybe, something like in 70% area. So it's a lot. But, just because the amount of trading is done with the machines, it doesn't mean that discretionary trading is dead. You can still, as a retail trader, I think this is still the best way to trade. When you combine, you can of course combine with the machines, but you can combine with signals. We can combine with strategies. You use the machine as a tool rather than totally replacing your trading. So I think that is where the biggest benefit for retail traders will be coming in, or has been for a while now, and still will continue. I think the main benefit of using the machine as a tool to help them in their trading journey.
And also this theme of actually being at your screens as a human being, placing trades, I mean the satisfaction, being in a social circle or with other traders and being in a community, do we really want this all to go and disappear?
Absolutely.
We've got our mentorship day tomorrow, and there'll be like 30 to 40 people in this room, and they'll be socializing, lunch, breakfast, evening, lots of education, lots of live trading. That doesn't really want to disappear. Us human beings need interaction with other human beings.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't matter how smart the computer will get, the humans will still want interaction with another human being. You're right. Like it wants to communicate with somebody who's maybe on his level of intelligence.
Exactly.
You don't want to just be totally being talking down to by a computer all the time, telling you how bad you're doing things. You actually want to communicate with people. And you're right, community, interaction with other people, and even having that knowledge that you can contribute something as well. Trading is not just about getting money. You want to provide some of your ideas. You want to do some input yourself, and that is, I think, the biggest satisfaction for humans as well. Not just the monetary value of getting the profit from the market alone.
One of the bit as a coach and a mentor, one of the biggest things that people struggle with is the mindset, the emotional side of things, the psychology. And I there is no doubt that you cannot get rid of the emotion in trading. It just gets easier the more experience, the more trades you do place. But I think the benefit would be the thing that you spoke about, combining the machine and the human being, the trade execution, is, I think, the perfect scenario. I'm sure there's many people out there that are crying out for a trading system. I mean, the trading EA or something that's going to make them loads and loads of money. I'm not seeing one that really does make them huge amounts of money on an EA anyway, over the years. And I just think this just runs on its own. I still believe if the trader can become a bit like a robot and just see the strategy, place the trade, in combination with finding those trades through a screener, a scanner, an email alert to you, or a text alert, or a chat alert, whatever, and then they just place the trade without any reservation or hesitation. I think that's the perfect scenario. But the biggest thing I see is confidence in trading. People need that confidence, and that's where the back testing automation comes in that we use, don't we? And then putting it forward in. Can you just tell us a little bit about Dara and the way we worked with you with the bots, and the strategies, because it goes into 3 phases, doesn't it? Starts with I'll let you explain.
You're right. We run the back tests, then we can run as a signal, so you're getting live signals, and then you can do execution. I can actually share with you, because I have prepared some stuff that I can share and show people how they can use the bot and get the data from the bot and give it to the ChatGPT for some feedback. And I think that is where the majority of the benefit will be for most people. So 1 second, let me just share my screen. So I hope you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so you're familiar with the bot, Leave. I'm not going to explain too much right now for the viewers, but essentially what we have here is we have a lot of backtests running here. Okay, so as I explained, this is we have historical data since 2011, and we have for Forex pairs, we have for equities, we have for commodities, and we have for crypto. And these backtests are run on trading college strategies only. Okay, so the specific strategy that you teach trading college to your students. So what the first thing where I see huge benefit of ChatGPT is that I can run multiple backtests, okay, and I can give this information to ChatGPT. So let me show you an example how I do that. This is my conversation I did with ChatGPT. So remember I said the best outcomes you can receive when you provide as much context as possible to ChatGPT. So what I've said here in the example to ChatGPT, I'm an individual trader. I have £10,000 to trade. Okay, I want to make as much money as possible, as most retail traders will say, in the shortest amount of time. Okay, I have a high risk profile, and I can risk up to 2% of my capital per trade. Yeah. Okay, so I have 2% risk, so £200 I don't mind risking per trade, but the maximum I'm happy to lose from my £10,000 is £2,000. Okay, so obviously I want to make money, but I don't want to lose all my £10,000. So I have tested 10 strategies, and which one or combination of few should I trade with and why? So this is where I gone and done backtests on the trading college bot, and I got 10 different backtests. And what I've done is just simply pasted the information in here as a text. So remember, it's very, very simple to use. It's just a text inputs. So you don't really need to worry about formatting or anything of this data, because it looks quite messy for you to read. But remember, for computer, it's easy to read. So there's 10 strategies, and if I put them in a spreadsheet, they just look like this. Okay, for spreadsheet, I guess for humans it's a little bit easier to read. So there's 10 different strategies, put in the markets and the different time frames, and just a lot of data from these strategies. And for ChatGPT, that's very helpful because it can crunch all these numbers and give you some feedback of which ones actually are the best ones to use. So let's say what it responds. So it says, given your risk tolerance and investment goal to maximize returns in the shortest time, you can use several factors to help you decide which trading strategies to employ. These factors include, and the most fascinating thing what I found is that instead of saying, oh yeah, this is the best strategy, this is the second, and so on, remember, see how it starts with explaining how we came up or with these decisions, which strategies to employ, and actually explaining what of each of these things mean. What's annualized and monthly return, what's a drawdown, what's Sharpe ratio, what's win percent, what's risk to reward. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask to it, oh, can you explain or can you educate me? So straight away it says, okay, well, you're individual retail trader. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you stuff straight away instead of you dumping lots of stuff to you. So it explains in a simple language, this is the annualized return, okay, you want to focus on that, maximum drawdown, so that's the maximum loss from peak to trough on your portfolio, before a new peak is attained. It's an indicator of downside risk. Since your maximum acceptable loss from your £10,000 is £2,000, any strategy with drawdown exceeding this amount should be avoided. So it not only just gives you the answer, it actually explains to you how we come up with this answer and explains step by step all things. And I think this is fascinating stuff. So considering these factors, it says that we can eliminate strategies with the drawdown exceeding £2,000, okay, which leaves us with these strategies 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10. And then it looks at strategies 1, 5, 10 with the highest annualized and monthly returns. They also have a reasonable Sharpe ratio. So it looks at Sharpe ratios now, which indicates that they are delivering good results for a level of risk taken. So if you're strictly focusing maximum returns and willing to accept high risk, you might consider these 3 strategies. However, you should bear in mind that past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So remember, see how it also puts in, these disclaimers that are
in there,
everywhere. So it's obviously it will give you advice, but at the same time, well, it's past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. So, and it also says, that you should do your own, diligence, and own research as well. So it's always puts on those disclaimers as well. But anyway, so it says 3 strategies from the 10 I provided are my best choice for maximizing my return, without losing all my money. So it says first strategy is the best one. So strategy 1 is it's trading Forex on daily time frames only. This is the highest Sharpe ratio among the 3 of 7.08, including the best risk-adjusted returns. It also has the highest win percentage, 55%, and the highest annualized return. And then it provides the second option as well, and the third option.
338% return isn't bad, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And another amazing thing about it, that you can continue and interact with it. So it's not just one prompt that you can send. You can ask for additional information, ask for additional feedback, or change something. So for example, here, I said, oh, how could I split my capital of £10,000 across these 3 strategies you suggested to obtain the best diversification? So it gave me the 3 strategies. I'm now asking, okay, could I use all 3 of them at the same time? So now it explains to me, okay, what's the diversification across strategies, how it can help me to manage my risk, and it gives me this breakdown that I could allocate my capital as follows. I can put for the strategy 1, I can put 50% of my capital, £5,000. So this strategy has the highest Sharpe ratio, indicated best adjusted returns among the 3 strategies it suggested. I can allocate 30% of my capital to the strategy number 5, or £3,000. This strategy has the second highest Sharpe ratio, so hence the second highest allocation. And for strategy 10, which is trading on cryptos, allocate 20% of my capital, or £2,000. This strategy has the lowest Sharpe ratio among the 3 strategies. It's slightly higher drawdown, indicated it might be more risky, hence it receives smallest allocation. So it's brilliant, isn't it? So it gives you information of, okay, which strategies should I chase, and then you can have follow-up questions, how to split the capital, or you can ask more questions, why you choose this one, or are you not concerned about the win rate, or so on. And I think this is one of the best ways that you could use ChatGPT, that you can provide it with enough content, enough data, and we can go through that data and provide you with suggestions.
Excellent. Yeah, pretty cool. That is. I've not
really
seen
cool.
that before, but
so that's one way how you could use it. So with the backtests. The second way how you could use it is with the live signals. So the way that once you run the backtest, you deploy this to the signals. Your bots will send the live signals to your Telegram, so you receive texts like this, something that there's a trading opportunity on US dollar, Canadian dollar for a 6-hour chart. This is the expectancy, and so on, so on. So you can actually take this information, just simply copy paste it from here and put it inside the prompt of ChatGPT. So this is how I did one for yesterday. So this is I received the signal yesterday on Australian dollar, and again, I'm starting with a little bit of context, so the ChatGPT understands a little bit of what I'm trying to do. So I'm explaining that I'm running a trading bot, and the bot just sent me the signal. Should I take it? I'm asking. Is it a good signal? I don't have any Australian dollar trades open yet, but I have a New Zealand dollar trade and I have a gold trade as well open. So I'm explaining what I have already running. And then I just basically copy paste the signal here on the bottom. So let's see what it says. It says, firstly, important to note that it puts in the disclaimer.
Disclaimers in there, yeah.
Disclaimer, as always, there will be, but past the disclaimer, I can help you to understand the signal provided by your trading bot. So your trading bot has detected potential bullish trading opportunity on Australian dollar for a 2-hour chart. The trade expectancy is 0.22, which is calculated as this. So it actually gives you the formula as already in there. Positive trade expectancy should suggest that this trading strategy might be profitable in the long run. Excellent. So this is amazing. It explains to you, all the details about the expectancy and so on, and about the signal. Here's more details of the breakdown. So it says hit rate. This is a percentage of the time trading strategy was successful in the past, which is given 47.89% for this particular signal. It means that almost half the time, based on historical data, this type of signal led to profitable trade. Risk-reward ratio explains the risk-reward ratio for this. Given the take profit and stop loss level seems consistent. Confidence, this could be the measure how confident the bot is its signal based on its algorithms, as it stands at 60%. The risk of this trade is 0.5, including the proportion of your trading account you risk losing on this trade. So based on these numbers, it seems that the signal could potentially be a good one, as it's high confidence trade with positive expectancy. However, there's several factors you should take into account. Correlation. So it explains the correlation between Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and gold. Something that only experienced traders will know about. So it has that knowledge straight away that they're positively correlated pairs. So you should be maybe consider that when taking risk management. You should consider that, are you willing to risk 0.5% of your trade, and so on. So I think it's absolutely brilliant. Second brilliant way how you can use it. So it's like a second opinion AI that can it's like a experienced trader can give you live feedback about your signals. And that is, I think, the best way how you can combine bots like Train College bots with ChatGPT. The Train College bot has live data, so this is right now signal coming in live markets, And ChatGPT has all this knowledge about the markets, and when you combine them, two of them, absolute magic can happen like this.
I'd love to get our flagship system in there, Pro Trend system, and our storyteller in there, strategies, because they're just so great. And I think I love that, Ivo. I love that. I spoke about this confidence thing with traders before, and having a second opinion, like you said, just builds that little bit of confidence that there's the data for that strategy. There is the past results, and it seems like a good strategy to take, and just gives that. Somebody lacking confidence gives that little bit of reassurance. Still could be a losing trade, though. Of course,
no, of course,
there's a risk in there.
That's why the probabilities is there, and what I love about this is that I didn't ask it to explain. I didn't ask for any education, but it already assumed that role of educator straight away, trying to explain to me stuff. It wasn't just saying, "Oh yeah, take this signal, yes or no, or is good or bad." It actually explained why it's a good signal, what's positive expectancy, what's confidence, what's risk to reward ratio. And for new traders, I think it's invaluable to have this type of support. I know you guys provide that kind of support, but you're humans. you have so many things to do as well. You cannot keep nagging your mentor all the time about smallest details. Here you have a bot that you can just keep typing and keep asking questions all the time. You can if you're not sure about something, you can just ask, okay, can you explain this differently? Can you explain this better? And so you can have this conversation all day long with your personal AI bot about the market. So it's just actually fascinating.
Trading College is very much into this and bots, and which we've been running for, as I said, for years, and the systems, the trading systems, and the software. We've always believed that software systems combined with the trader is the secret ingredients. Getting good trading systems, good bot, good strategies, combine that. Otherwise, if you get a new trader that's not very confident and a bad trading strategy, then that's the room for disaster. So, and then of course the most important thing is the risk management, isn't it? Beyond doubt. I mean, look, you just showed that strategy ad that you typed in there, and you grabbed it was 55% winning trades, and it still made 300% profit. So the risk is so important for traders.
And ChatGPT can really help to understand the risk management as well, partly because remember, it's you saw that it's always will put disclaimer, so it is inherently risk averse, I would say, unless you specifically say, okay, this is the risk I want to take, and so on. So it will explain all the risk management strategies as well to retail traders, so they can understand how to manage their risk and how to allocate their capital and so on, how to make sure they have a stop losses in place, and so things like that. As you saw, for all the signals you trade, you always have a stop in place. So yes, you have a positive expectancy strategy, but you're right, 50% of the time the trade will be a losing trade. So you just deal with that, and over time you understand how the risk reward works, how the positive expectancy works when you apply a positive expectancy strategy over a long period of time.
But as a discretionary trader, when I did my challenge account from 10 to 104,000, my winning trade percentage was 75%, which is high, which is good.
That's high, yes.
Yeah, it's good. But to get a machine to do that high is pretty difficult, isn't it?
Really. It would be difficult, unless it's doing some martingale and stuff like that. So obviously, there's been systems that have high win rates, but inherently with high win rate comes also high risk of that it can just one day just blows up because it takes small wins, and that's why it has the high win rate. But when it's wrong, it just completely decimates the account. So that is one of the
and it just shows you just shows you that there's no 100% win rate out there, or 90% of people go searching for the Holy Grail. See, with my high win rate, it's all about trading with that higher time frame, using the bigger time frame, like the bot suggested that the best time frame was the daily. As a day trader, I'm using that daily time frame to trade my 5 and 60-minute time frame. So I'm combining different time frames, and with the bot that we just saw there, it was just using one time frame. to analyze the data. So with the human being, with our discretionary trade, I'm using bigger time frames to trade from, so I can see that the daily's in a downtrend, I'm going to be looking for shorts. Daily's in an uptrend, I'm going to be looking for long. So it just bumps up the winning trades more.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, human, interaction and your knowledge, your intuition is still so valuable, and people should not, underestimate that. And you're right, just use it with the data together with the computer. But don't be afraid to use your intuition, your knowledge, absolutely, your judgment, and I think it can definitely bump up your results significantly.
We're going to be doing so much more of this trading college. We're going to be trading live. We're going to use ChatGPT, and we're going to, with our systems and strategies going forward, we're going to be doing more with Dara, with the automation stuff and the back testing, and it's a great, exciting time for us.
Absolutely exciting times for retail traders. I think people, some will say, "Oh, how retail traders can survive in this market?" When there's AIs and stuff like that. I think retailers will be absolutely thriving now because it's so accessible now to them. They have availability to these systems, and the future is very, very bright, I think, for retail traders.
If anybody wants to be on the cutting edge of this going forward for retail traders, guys, Trading College is the place to be, because we've already got our systems in place, we've already got strategies in there. It's all about now just working with AI to make it even better and give you the best possible chance of becoming a successful trader and making some decent money. I just want to, just before we leave, I mean, I remember years ago when I was in the city, not working. I've never worked for anybody in the city and never worked it, but I remember being invited into a trading floor, and they were using AI it was around Trump election. They were using AI to search social sites and look for comments around Trump, the election, and so on, which would then provide a trading signal. I mean, that is the big thing at the moment. It seems like the social side of it, going through social media with AI and looking for those comments and sentiment, really.
Sentiment analysis, yeah, it's one part of AI that it can look at, you're right, social media posts and provide the sentiment of it, and then the idea being that if it's on public posts in social media, then that should manifest into a trading signal and so on. But like, it's just one of the approaches. I haven't done much work in sentiment analysis. I'm more technically based trader, with technical strategies, but it's one of the ways to use AI. That you're right, and funnily enough, actually ChatGPT has gone a bit of hot water with this issue, because it's essentially, it has used all the internet, all the social media posts for its training data. And now, if you heard, maybe Elon Musk is going a little bit not happy because they used all the Twitter feeds basically to train their models, and they never asked for permission for that. So they're going, okay, who actually owns this data now that the ChatGPT is trained on? So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, sentiment analysis, it's just one of those, one of the ways how to make money, and there's plenty of ways to make money, I think, in the markets.
Be interesting. Obviously my background's professional sport, and I just wonder where it's going to go now. It's already, the analysis is done in football clubs with opposition and fitness levels of players, and the machinery with recovery and halftime, what you should be doing at halftime, each individual player. It's just vast. I think this whole world of AI is you got to embrace it, and I think it's going to be just incredible. They said it was going to happen many years ago. People saying, as you said, it's this next phase, and it's going to certainly change businesses as well as the trading space.
Yeah, no, it's the next boom, and we're definitely gonna ride this current boom.
Yeah, and maybe look for some, if people are looking for some investments, look at the AI companies out there, and certainly I'm positioned in a couple as well already. So
or the companies that provide the hardware, the GPUs for it, NVIDIA. So they've been huge, and a huge skyrocket, and because they just simply build this. They don't build the software, but they build the hardware to run the software on. So yes, a lot of opportunities.
There you go. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, Ivo. Again,
Thank you.
we'll get you on again, and we'll look at some more stuff maybe, and maybe go through maybe the strategies and do what you've done there, maybe, and concentrate on that on the next podcast, and maybe we'll certainly chat about that off air, and we'll do that. But if anyone's interested in, as I said, Trading College, we're very much in the cutting edge of this, guys, for retail traders, using our systems and processes and strategies and scanners that we use every day to try and take that hard work that traders have to do by scanning, looking for trades, setting up. It's done for you with our screeners and with our software. So get in touch with us here at Trading College. But thanks very much, Ivo, and
no problem.
speak to you soon, my friend.
Have a good day.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.